This is Steve Kyle, another veteran. This is Chase, camera guy.
What's up, man? What's up, Chase, camera guy?
Babe, this is Kyle.
How are you?
So what we're gonna do is I got a room and everything set up. John's gonna be back here in a second. He was just getting your guys set up. He's gonna be your guide tomorrow.
Okay.
You hungry at all? You want some barbecue right now?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Got all the guys in. We're getting ready to head out to our good buddies at Rock Castle. We're gonna eat dinner, come up with our game plans for tomorrow, where everybody's gonna be going and hunting, who's hunting with who, and have a good time. Hopefully we get some birds down this weekend. Here we are on our third annual Mohawk turkey hunt here in Western Kentucky. Pretty stoked about the group of guys that we got coming in. One in particular is a buddy that I got to serve with. I got my whole Mohawk crew. I got a wounded warrior cooking food for us every night, and part of my Mohawk crew taking these guys out on out in some beautiful locations here in Kentucky, and hopefully get some birds down and show these guys a really good time. One of the guys in particular is a guy by the name of Jarrod Kapp. I had the honor of serving with him in Afghanistan in 2010 and 2011. Guy was so incredible about his job that even the locals and the Americans, we all called him Jesus.
So Jarrod Kapp, I'm 35. I was a medic with the 101st, 1st 502nd. I served 7 years and was medically retired in 2014 out of Fort Belvoir. I've known JD since we deployed in 2010. We've always kept in touch and been good buddies. He just called me one night and asked if I wanted to come shoot turkeys in the face, and I said, hell yeah. Yeah, I don't have a lot of experience in hunting. Didn't grow up around guns or anything, actually. My dad was in the Navy. But yeah, I fish, and I've done some quail and pheasant hunting. I've always wanted to do a turkey hunt, but I've never been forwarded this opportunity.
Yeah, I can carry another one of those if you want. You want me to carry one more of those? Okay. All right, let's go kill some birds. Opening morning of the hunt, you know, I'm a little nervous every time I take guys in my backyard. It just sounds ridiculous. Hey, I'm gonna guide you in my backyard, but that's what we did. And we get out, get here about 5:30 in the morning. We get in the blind, and I make one little chirp, and Cap doesn't know what to expect. He's never hunted turkeys in his life. And I do a little chirp, morning chirp, and I get a couple birds gobbling at us. And I knew right off the bat it's gonna be a quick morning.
JD starts calling, and we hear some gobbling going on all around us, and we probably sat in the blind for an hour and a half, and we were goofing off and having a good time. I do got one, actually. And just out of nowhere, the two Jakes just walk up on us, and I don't know who's more excited, JD or me. Do you see him still? That's him right there running up. Wait. Okay, I see him. Okay, just stay calm. Aim at the top of his head. Do you see him? He's right there. Get on him. Just hold still. Just wait till you got a shot. You think I can hit him? Yeah.
Yeah, but just be careful. Stay calm, stay calm. Right there, you got a shot. Right at the top of his head. Wait.
There's one right above us.
Right there, coming in. Get ready, there's 2 of them. The first one's a shooter. Shoot him. That's a J. Get him. Hit him again. Oh, fuck, you missed.
God damn. No. He's wounded.
He's wounded. Oh, God, you got him, bro. Are you hear him flapping?
He's right there. You see him?
Hell yeah, he's down, bro. He's down.
Thank you. This was my first turkey, but he was calling it in for me, and he yells in my ear, shoot it, shoot it. So I had to lean over because the way the blind's set up, there's like this V, and I didn't have the shot through the middle. But I leaned over and, fired and hit a tree and the turkey, I guess. And hear the turkey flopping around, and JD's yelling, kill it, kill it. So gave it one more shot, and I think that was that. It all happened so fast, but it was cool. I'll never forget that. He's laying right there. Yep. Heck yeah, man. That's awesome. Thank you, brother.
Beautiful bird, man. He's got a blue head. We got him turned on.
Just got up early, 3:30. Thanks, JD. Got out here about 5, and JD called him in. It did about 2 hours, not even.
Not even, I don't think.
Man, they're active this morning, so we got him. It was a goal of mine to come out and get a turkey, and now I can check that off of my bucket list. What was it like serving with JD? I didn't like JD, honestly. I was a medic for HHC, 1st 502nd Headquarters Unit. He was a scout NCO, and I was just an E4 medic. And JD was really good friends and had deployed with another medic that was there with us at Ashake. And JD's favorite thing would be to come into my aid station and wrestle me, just throw me onto the floor and beat my ass. that was my first experience with JD. JD was, he was always he was a hard charger. The dude never stopped. After mission, he was in the gym. When he wasn't in the gym, he was probably kicking my ass again. JD's just, you can tell now with what he's doing with Mohawk Outdoors. The dude's never stops. He's a hard charger. September 2010, JD were on one of the largest missions in the OEF war. It was Operation Dragon Strike.
September 2010, Operation Dragon Strike kicked off in Southern Kandahar, Afghanistan, where Kapp and I were involved in the largest movement in Afghan history. I'll never forget the Air Force coming in, and they're dropping these, I don't even know what kind of bombs they were, but they went into the ground and they were used to detonate IEDs that were in the area. And I remember hearing on this radio countdown, 3, 2, 1, and then all of a sudden the ground starts shaking, and boom, and all this explosions and stuff start going off all over the place where there was IEDs built, and just the vibration from those bombs going off, it was causing IEDs to explode all over the place. The whole thing about Operation Dragon Strike was to eliminate all the Taliban outposts in southern Kandahar. So it was one massive attack by the U.S. Armed Forces to hit every single village in southern Kandahar that was occupied by Taliban. You would hear stories that there would be 4 Taliban to 400 Taliban in these villages. So when the Air Force dropped these bombs and they started going off, and it was time to, it was wartime. We're running into these villages, and there's alleyways and mud huts and dudes popping around corners shooting at you, and IEDs that you still have to worry about, it just turned into this massive long day engagement. Basically, it was a Taliban occupied village. They're literally trying to get out of the village, and they're getting caught in a complex ambush basically by my guys and my buddy Cap and his team that are fighting from the opposite side of the village. And we're in this massive gunfight, literally trying to get all the Taliban out of this village. That this mission ended up lasting an entire month of just straight fighting back and forth with the Taliban. As soon as the operation began, my team ended up hitting one side of this village while Cap and his teams were hitting the other side of this village. And we're in this massive gunfight. And I'm operating in a smaller element, and we end up taking over half this town and moving into a mud hut to chill out while Charlie Company, we didn't want to get in their way while they were hitting the other side of this village. So I literally just told my team to take this grape hut over. We went inside of it, and I told them to take their helmets off and relax until we got further word of what we needed to do that day.
We had split up to take over this town where it was supposed to be the largest Taliban stronghold in Zari district, in the area that we were in. And we were clearing houses, and we came through. We were walking through this wadi, and we came to this graveyard, and JD's the scouts were just on the other side of that wadi. So as we're walking through the graveyard, my platoon sergeant stopped me because he had seen a shovel. And he said, the last time I had seen a shovel in Iraq, Jarrod, and he stopped, and the IED went off.
And as soon as I pop my helmet off and I'm inside this mud room, I hear an explosion. And every time you'd hear an explosion, it was never a good feeling, because you knew what we were doing. And if you hear an explosion close by, you probably know it's one of your buddies that just got hit. And it was exactly that. I remember hearing the explosion inside this compound I was in, the dust lifting up all over the place. You couldn't see nothing. And my platoon sergeant running up saying, Williams, I need you to take your team. An entire squad from Cobra element is down, and they need to get out of there to an LZ. And getting told that something like that, you don't know what you're walking into. You got so many thoughts going through your head of who it is and how bad is it. I had no idea what I was getting myself into, and I start getting my team spun up, and we start running out the gates to where Cap's located, and we're in this gunfight, and I got 5 dudes with me, and we're in a village moving as fast as we can to get to our guys, because we don't know if they're bleeding out or someone's dead or what. And I come up on the Argandaf River, and I remember just getting ready to stick my legs in, and I have some Cobra element that's still like there in their heads saying, please stop, there's possible secondaries in the area. And I start moving my team across to get to where Cap is, and as soon as we show up, thank God it wasn't as bad. It was still bad. There was an entire squad that was shell-shocked, and if you don't know what shell-shocked is, it's when your soul's completely gone and you're a walking corpse. And that's basically what all these guys were. There was dudes with jaws blown up and people peppered real bad, and Cap was one of them. And I remember grabbing him, and he's shell-shocked. He's got shrapnel that went through his legs and stuff, and I got to get him where I just fought all the way through this village to get to him. I got to get him back through that stuff to where the rest of my Mohawk element's located, to get him on a bird and get him to safety. When you see a person shell shocked, it's scary because someone shell-shocked is unpredictable. They can be violent. They could just be completely gone, and you're hoping their soul comes back into their body and they're gonna be all right. When I saw Cap and the look in his eyes, it was like looking into a serial killer where you don't see any emotions, nothing. He is completely gone. His soul, the Cap that I know, is off walking around in the jungle, and the Cap that I have is like a walking dead corpse. And when you deal with guys with shell shock, it can be extremely dangerous because they can get violent. You don't know when that concussion rips through their body. You don't know if they have internal bleeding or anything like that, and there's just so much to it that makes it terrifying.
I don't recall a lot. We called for help. The scouts came over, and I don't remember it, but JD told me he could see it. Like I wasn't there. I was so impacted by it. And JD actually carried me off the battlefield and into safety. He probably saved my life, man.
So I grabbed Cap and we start moving our way back through the village. I'm very point man for my team, and I'm shooting at guys behind a wall, and I'll never forget letting go of Cap at one point and looking over, and he's walking off out in a place where there could be more IEDs or, you know, getting shot at by the enemy, and I didn't want that happening. I'd run and grab him, and we just kept making our way all the way through, and we got Cap to an LZ, and at that point I was a lot of stress was away because you're trying to take 6-7 dudes that are all wounded really bad, and they're out of the fight. You don't want them picking up a gun at this point, and you're getting them to a helicopter, and then you get the word that you had to go back to pick up 2 KIA that you didn't even know about. So I had to fight my way back through the village again, get to where the KIA were, just so when by the time the helicopter came to pick up our guys, I could have these 2 KIA back at the LZ to fly them off as well. The mortar element that was attached to us and my scout element that I was with, we weren't happy that we had to send Cap off to this other element that we weren't really fighting alongside with at the time, and we had to send Cap because their medic was injured over there. And when that IED hit, it impacted the mortar platoon and my scout platoon a lot because we saw Cap every day and we saw the good work that he was doing with the locals and our brothers that were fighting alongside him. That's why we called him Jesus. And when you find out Jesus gets wounded, it's devastating for everybody because he's a big key instrument in what we're trying to accomplish over there, and knowing that we're putting him on a helicopter to send him out of there, it was extremely devastating for all of us because we didn't have our golden boy medic with us anymore. A couple weeks after Cap got injured, I unfortunately stepped on an IED a couple weeks afterwards and lost both my legs and my right arm, and Cap and I never served on a battlefield again. And the last time I got to see him was the day he was getting home from Afghanistan, walking off that airplane. I was right there in my stubby prosthetics hugging everybody that I served with when they were getting off that plane, and I went back to Texas and I never got to see the guys again.
Couldn't come back out and hunt during the evening as we had planned. So JD and Mohawk Outdoors decided that we would hand forge knives that they'll be able to use for fundraising events, and that was a really cool experience. I'm not a craftsman. I've never worked with steel or even really power tools for that matter. So for JD to walk us through that and give us that experience, I mean, that was a cool thing to do.
Whenever we have great dudes in camp, or we'd love to get them to forge a knife, and we have them start the whole process. You know, these guys, a lot of them have been forged in fire. You know, the day they were shot at, you know, they were forged in fire. So one of the things I like to do is get them out here, have them start forging a knife, putting their hard work and their soul and heart into these knives. And then what we later on do is I'll finish up the handles and everything, and we'll use it as an auction item, because these veterans that we take on these hunts want to get more veterans out hunting, and that's what we use the knives for, is to raise money to help our brothers and sisters that served in combat in harm's way, get them on some outdoor therapeutic adventures. want it to get good heat. When that brick starts really heating up, see how it's turning orange?
Yeah.
Once that sucker's red hot, this thing really doesn't take long for the knife to heat up. So I'm gonna have you stand on this side. You're not gonna be coming down with like hits like this, all right?
Okay.
It's literally keeping your hand like about right here where the tape is, and you're coming down, you're literally just moving your elbow, you know, and your wrist. It's more of a wrist motion.
Okay.
You don't want to sit there and smash it because you're gonna hurt yourself. There you go. All right, see how it lost its heat a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay it this way, and I want you to hit it right in the center.
Like here?
Yep, right in the center. Good.
The last time I saw JD was when we were in Afghanistan, actually. I followed him on social media and we chatted on the phone a couple times, you know, since I've been out in 2014. But this is, being out here for this hunt was the first time I'd gotten to see him face to face. And it was, you know, I was worried it was going to be kind of triggering just because I hadn't seen him since he got hit. And it was pretty healing. It was good seeing him.
Over the years, you know, once you're out of the Army and you're in reality again, you lose that sense of tribe. That, you know, when you're in the military, you feel like you're in a tribe, and you come back and you're around people that can't relate to the stories that you talk about, and you deal with when the quietness hits. You deal with, and that's why it's so important to get these guys out of their houses, because they're stuck in this quietness. And they're thinking in their heads about all the bad things that they could have did, whether it was going right or going left or being there at a certain time.
Just being able to get outside of my head and my daily, you know, experiences, daily, you know, rituals, just forgetting about everything, coming out here, being around other veterans that have experienced similar situations. It's a blessing, man. It's a blessing.
When I got hit, Cap took it really hard because he wasn't there for me. And that's something that he should not have to bear any of that weight from, because he was doing what he needed to be doing and I was doing what I needed to be doing. And honestly, I wouldn't want to change anything about that day that I got hit, because I wouldn't want him to see what happened that day and go through all that stuff in his head mentally after all the things that he already has seen.
It's healing. We can just come out here and bullshit and spend time outdoors, which is one of my favorite things to do. I mean, I can't really, I don't know how to express it or put it into words. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. I had a rough week leading up to this hunt. Not seeing JD, being hit, him carrying me off, and then him getting hit. We never had that closure. We just never had seen each other, never were able to really reconnect besides Facebook and you know, a couple phone calls. But seeing him for the first time, like I told him on Facebook, I was like, dude, I might cry. Like, I don't know, I haven't seen you, you know, with your injuries and whatnot. I don't know how I'm gonna deal with it. He's like, shit, man, I might cry too. I think he just told me that. I don't think JD would cry. Maybe he would, I don't know. But I got out of my truck, I pulled up, and it was just like, we were just dudes. I mean, it really wasn't even a big deal. It was cool. You know, I put myself through a hell, you know, thinking it was gonna be like this horrible thing, but it really just wasn't that bad. And I hope a lot of veterans can hear that. Like, we need to reach out to each other and, you know, realize that the triggers really aren't gonna be there. Like, it's a mind game we play with ourselves.